Hey everyone, it's Abhay here. Today I wanted to talk about something deeply personal yet highly important. My perspective on Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister. Now, I'm someone who has supported him, but as I follow the principle of match your conviction with knowledge, I realize that my opinion needs to be better informed. I need to look at more things, I need to go deeper than just what he wants to show me. But I do understand that a good starting position is letting him represent himself. So, in this video, I'll share insights that I gathered from watching one of the Modi's recent speeches in the US. I went in with an open mind to see what kind of message he was trying to convey. I also look at things from both sides, which what makes me proud and what I'm still unsure about. So, the the starting of his speech was, I think, brilliant. He started with highlighting the India's incredible diversity, and honestly, I couldn't agree more. India has been a hallmark of diversity for centuries. This isn't just rhetoric, it's reality. Here he talks about it.
भाषा अनेक है लेकिन भाव एक है.
As it said, there's many languages, there's many cultures, there's many traditions, there's many food, there's many ideologies. Uh, but still, at the very least, if we condense it down to the states, we have 29 different cultures, different 29 different ideologies, but we still came together and elected a prime minister for the third time, controversial or not. We did get there. India did decide for Modi to come back as third time as our prime minister. Here he is thanking Indians for doing that.
साथियों, तीसरी बार हमारी सरकार की वापसी हुई है. और ऐसा पिछले 60 सालों में भारत में नहीं हुआ था.
As I said, it is an incredibly important milestone, and it hasn't happened for 60 years. 60 years we've been divided. 60 years there wasn't a majority party. The 60 years we were unsure about who to rule us. So, controversial or not, he's back for the third time, and that does point to uh, something. That does point to his capability, at least, to become prime minister for the third time. Might be a fluke, might be politics, might be something else, might be interference from other countries, but he is back, and he did talk about some prideful things that he did in his 10 years as a prime minister. So, first thing he talked about was the gold medal won at the International Olympiad, Chess Olympiad, by men and by women. Both of our teams won, men and women. This hasn't happened for 100 years. And from looking at it, he's incredibly proud of that. He's incredibly thankful for those people bringing it. And here's the clip.
आज ही एक और बहुत अच्छी खबर मिली है. चेस ओलंपियाड में मेंस और वुमेन्स दोनों में भारत को गोल्ड मिला है. लेकिन एक और बात बताऊं, जब ज्यादा तालियां बजानी पड़ेगी.
Again, obviously he had nothing to do with it. It was the people, it was the men and the women putting in work, working hard and preparing for it, obviously. But it is a prideful thing. I want my politician to bring in positive things that are happening, things that bring us closer, things that make us prideful as Indians. Obviously, unless there's something horrible happening, The prideful things are brought up as a way to suppress the bad things happening. I think it's a good thing. Politicians should be talking about positive things happening under them or under somebody else. It doesn't matter. Just their job is to make us feel good. Their job is to make us feel accomplished. Their job is to facilitate all that. Obviously, is do your job, make good roads, make a good government, free from corruption, so we can have more of these prideful moments. But again, here, for the thing he was doing, he brought up a prideful moment, and I am okay with that. And again, it shows that you're not following anymore. We are leading in some things. That was just one of the things. The second thing he talked about was our 5G market. He said it was the largest 5G market in the world, bigger than the USA. I don't exactly know what that means, a 5G market. I don't know what that means. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't find it. But when I did look up uh, our capabilities as a country for 5G, I did find that we are the second largest 5G network in the world behind China. If you think about that, that was done in 2 years. That was accomplished in 2 years. Whereas China, who has been developed for longer than us, China, who has third largest or the second largest economy in the world, is the only country ahead of us. Everybody else is behind us. In terms of connectivity, in terms of speed, what I've looked up, the speed might be going down. We are on the 14th, we are 15th ranked in 5G speeds in the world. But again, 15th is still decent. That's probably behind all the European countries, USA, China, and stuff like that. But everybody else, we are doing amazing for 2 years. That's amazing. So here's what he's talking about. Here's the clip of him talking about it.
आप हैरान होंगे आज भारत का 5G मार्केट बताऊं बुरा नहीं लगेगा ना आज भारत का 5G मार्केट अमेरिका से भी बड़ा हो चुका है
There you saw him doing a little bit of tongue in cheek with the Americans, calling out the fact that America and China and the European Union and all Russia has been the biggest forces in the world for the longest time, from like World War II, and yet India has managed to climb its way to the 5G network, 5G market, 5G research, 5G availability rankings in 2 years, which is an incredibly amazing thing for any country, but especially us, who has we've been I don't want to sound partisan, but we have been underutilized for a long time, and it was the Congress Party. It was the same people who are in the party today, is the same people who were ruling the party for like 60, 70 years. Those are the same people that underutilized us, that abused us, and we were behind everywhere. We were just, despite being a superpower, despite being the youngest country, despite being the smartest people on the planet, one of the smartest people on the planet, we were somehow underutilized by the Congress Party, Indian National Congress. And it would be a different thing if the leadership changed. It would be something else if they realized their mistake. It would be something different if they ask forgiveness for their mistakes during those 70 years. But nothing. I don't see it. What I see is the same people running the party still to this day. Uh, the leader spewing nonsense, going to the same country, USA, and kind of talking about shameful things, dividing us into smaller parts. And maybe that's how they win. That's how they want to win. They're desperate. I don't understand. But it is shameful to talk about things that the current government are doing wrong, but never apologizing for your party's misdeeds. Calling out current party's mismanagement, corruption is amazing. I want to see that. I want to see that more. But that also comes with the fact that you apologize for your own mistakes. Because if you're not apologizing for your mistakes and pointing out others' mistakes, you're not really a good person. You're not really logical. You're not really rational. You're not really trustworthy to me. Because you already did all those things. You already abused the Indian people, Indian votes for so long. And now that you're losing heavily, you just want to call out the opposition? Come on. Call out your own people, change it, and start working on it. If they were doing it, I would be the biggest supporter of any person that understands their own mistakes and apologizes for them or changes things and moves forward. Another another amazing thing that I've been looking through the years and I've been incredibly proud is that India, while gaining power, while gaining technology, while leading in a lot of things, have not left people behind, have not left countries behind. They help people. They go out of their own way to help people, helping enemies sometimes. Uh, and India, Modi called India the first responder of the world, leveraging the fact that during pandemic, we helped 150 countries with vaccines and medicines. And here's a clip of him talking about it.
कोरोना के समय में हमने 150 से ज्यादा देशों को वैक्सीन और दवाइयां भेजी।
And it is true. We did help a lot of people with vaccines. A lot of people probably owe their life to Modi or the scientists in India. Uh, but again, all that the scientists can do is make the medicine, but the logistics of providing everything to other countries was done by Modi and Modi's government. So again, credit where it's due, and contempt where there's conflict. He talked about that, and also the other things where India helped its enemies like Turkey. Turkey, from what I remember, they just gave Pakistan drones, UAVs, and then they had a earthquake. And what would I assume is that we wouldn't help them, but instead we helped them during the earthquake with the operation, under the operation Dose, to provide relief and a peace relief and emergency staff to Turkey. We also did Operation Karuna in Myanmar during the cyclone and Operation Kaveri in Sudan during the civil unrest, civil war. We extracted our people, but we also helped their people. We also helped their people. We did not need to do that. We did. Another recent example is helping Afghanistan during their civil unrest, providing medicine, humanitarian aid, amazing things. But the one fact locks us in, locks this in at least for the Modi's government, and I don't think people can change my mind on it because Ukraine, when the Ukraine war started, were mad at the political neutrality of India because uh, we don't like to choose sides. We don't choose USA. We don't choose Russia. We choose friends, people who help us. If USA is helping us, we work with them. If Russia is helping us, we work with them. The only enemies we probably have it in the world are China and Pakistan, our neighbors. Everybody else are probably neutral, too friendly in the world. Japan, neutralist country ever. uh, comes out in support of India. Uh, Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, personally thanks Narendra Modi for his support, his outgoing attitude about the conflict and their support from Modi's government to Netanyahu's government. And yet, and yet, and yet, we send humanitarian aid to Gaza. That that locks in the idea of centrality in the world politics. Another option, another example of that is Ukraine. Ukraine, when the Ukraine war started, they oh yeah, that's where I started. They were making fun of our neutrality, and to do that, to disrespect us, to disrespect the Indian people or Narendra Modi, whatever you want to understand, they tweeted a photo of one of the Hindu gods in a revealing dress or just making fun of a Hindu god. Despite that, Modi went to Zelensky to talk out this conflict, and that again locks in the idea of centrality. We might, I find it horrible. I find it horrible that Russia is invading Ukraine, but USA is not in. Uh, but we do need somebody to come in between. We do need an arbitrator. We do need a neutral person in between. Cannot be USA. It cannot be China. Who's left? It's India. India, because it didn't choose sides. We can go to Zelensky, talk to them. We can go to Putin and talk to them. And again, hopefully bring an end to the conflict in Ukraine and hopefully help the Ukrainian people in an indirect way, in a neutral way. I would want more help to the Ukrainians, but I understand it's not possible for India right now because India is finding its footing in the international world. It's trying to regain everything that it's lost for the last 60, 70 years. And I think neutrality is the only way to do it because our people are suffering. I do care about the Ukrainian people, and I do think USA should keep supporting Ukraine even more. But India, I think, is in the best position for India. Neutral. I love that. So after hearing all this, I am prideful of this government, Modi's leadership, and India's role in the international stage. As I said, the COVID reliefs, the reliefs during earthquakes, cyclones, wars, amazing things. But I understand this is just one side of the story. This is just the best case scenario for him and his side. But I also believe that there's probably the other side of the coin. There's the other side of the story. And I am ready. I'm excited, actually. I'm excited to see the other side of the story. So, if you have any controversies, criticisms, or decision that deserves scrutiny, tag me on X at Parallel Pundit, and I would love to go through the evidence that you have for or especially against the Modi government. As I said, I'm a Modi supporter, so I want to see the other side. I want to see the criticisms. I want to see what can disqualify him as a leader for me. So if you have any of those things, tag me on X. I'll look at it. I'll respond to it. I'll make a video about it if I do think that it deserves criticism. But that's that. Thanks for watching. If you found the video insightful, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And remember, whether you support Modi or not, it's important to engage in all sides of the debate. I'll see you in the next video.